Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. Thank you for your tremendous support on the previous episode. I asked all of you how you felt about the daily videos and there was an overwhelming amount of support for that. So we're going to continue doing it for now. And I did see a few comments from people who kind of felt like maybe it was a bit too much, and I can understand that. But, you know, I've asked for your support and you've come out in numbers to give it to me. And I think I'm going to honour that and continue doing this 2,000 likes for a daily video thing. I mean, I love playing this game, so every day turning up to do some work in the city here and making a video out of it is a lot of fun. And if you guys enjoy that as well, then it's all a good thing, I think. So we're going to continue doing it, and enough about that. Let's talk about what I've actually done in the city in between episodes. So first of all, I put some parks down in the industrial area over here. This is based on a suggestion by you guys, and it seems to have made a pretty big difference actually. If we have a look at leisure in this area, you can see it's jumped back up again, and I saw some of the buildings upgrading. So we kind of learned that a little bit before when we plopped down the car parks, and then I forgot about it. And now that we come back again, you can see some of these buildings have actually upgraded. So we're going to click on one and you're going to see something very cool because we have a new mod running. This one right here you could consider to be a little bit cheaty. It's called the Extended Building Information. If we have a look here, you can see, or maybe you can't because I can barely read this, but down here we have a whole bunch of different services and a rating meter. Now this one looks a bit weird compared to the other one that I saw. Also noise is a problem for these guys, as well as pollution, which is interesting because they are obviously the creators of that. So if we go into this area, I clicked on an office around here and you can see the stats are a little more balanced. So I think the first one is health, then we have fire, police. That one I'm not sure, I think that's elementary school, high school, university. I think that says deaf. And then, I'm not sure, parks and cargo. So you can see the different things that are affecting this right here. So considering this is 3 stars, I don't think there's much we can do for that. Perhaps if we go over to a different area, this is actually the area that I was looking at before. You can see here, not quite 3 stars, there's no health department coverage here. And I think we could probably increase that. So let's do a little bit of an experiment. In this area you can see no health coverage at all. So let's say we put down a hospital. We have lots of money to spare, remember. And by the way, someone pointed out that these DP buildings we've been using don't actually contribute to the total count, which is one of the things that we want to increase here. So if I'm to add it somewhere around here, we're going to destroy a lot of buildings. And I don't think there's a cheeky way we can do this here either. So they're also not going to go into that area. If we put it, like, maybe we'll just go with a smaller one and make this simple for now. Is it me, or was it not showing? Okay, there you go. Now that everything's turned green, we kind of want it somewhere on this corner, but it's just saying no. Okay, so that's going to cover all of those offices over there. Not the specific one we were looking at, but still, it'll do the same thing. So they will be sacrificed, and now everything around here may just increase. Let's have a look. Health coverage goes up a little bit. Maybe this will start to follow. We'll come back here and check in a moment, but for the most part, all of these are 2 before the 3 star. There we go, straight away up to 3 stars. Nope, sorry, that's a new building. My mistake. So it looks like with this tool we can figure out what's missing. But we know that these things affect these buildings anyway, so all you can do is just open this. It's pretty much the same thing as looking at your coverage in each area and finding all of these buildings like this that are red and fixing them for each of the problems. But it's interesting to see that health coverage affects the offices, because I kind of assumed that they didn't. So we learned something there, which is great. And hopefully that helps you in the city. I do get a fair few comments from people saying like they're really impressed with the size of the city and how pretty it looks, and I find it interesting because I kind of just walked into this and managed to do it, which is really cool actually to, you know, have it work so well. But some of you have been struggling, and that's a little unfortunate. So hopefully as I learn things I can express them and you'll be able to pick up the tips and make them work for you as well. So another tip for you, I put down this stadium over here for looks, not for actual use. This thing costs 4,000 a week, so I turned that off. That was a little bit silly. I could probably do that with some of these other ones, but these ones are cheap. 80 a week, 16. Let's see if any of these are expensive. This one right here is, however, I mean, we could turn it off, couldn't we? But it's a unique building, so I kind of feel like the objective is to keep that running. Also, this thing over here, maybe 800 a week. It's just for looks. We could turn it off. But I'm going to leave it for now. If we ever get short on money, we'll do that. So speaking of money, someone suggested something cool, and I asked all of you for suggestions. And when I do this in my Minecraft videos, I usually get like a wall of comments of people suggesting names. In City Skylines, there's not so many suggestions, but one that jumped out at me was to give these areas seasonal names. Wait, what am I clicking on here? Did they? No, they have saved their names. For some reason I just couldn't pick them out there. So we've got Summer Lanes down here. Autumn Grove. At the top we have Winter Square, and on the left we have Spring Court. So we've named them after the seasons. We called this Capital Garden in the middle as well. And so those areas have been named, which is really cool. And one last thing I've got on my list of things to talk about is over here we have a traffic problem, and someone left a suggestion. I think they might be right about this. We have a problem with lane switching over here, and it could well be because this road is on the irregular side for a highway. Usually you'd turn off on this side, so what we'll do is make a temporary and ugly road that just sort of goes up and around, connects over there, and we'll remove that one and see if they stop changing lanes, because it's becoming a little bit of a pain. As you can see, it's slowing down all the traffic. That means it backs up, and when it does that, it can have pretty bad consequences. So we're going to bring up the road like this, try and go too high. Can we do that in one go? No, so we'll come back down, and then we'll go over to this area, too high, so we can go up and over. Actually, it's going to be a little bit tricky, isn't it? Let me build this, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, there we go. I hope that fixes the problem, because I've just remembered how difficult it was to actually line that road up and make it go through. So let's speed up to the third speed and see what happens. So far, it's not looking good. No one's actually taking that turn now as well, which is kind of worrying. I did make it in the correct direction, and maybe these cars just need a moment here to catch up. That was interesting. For a while there, it was kind of backed up, kind of like it is a little bit there, and then it kind of freed itself up a little bit. And now we've got to back up over here. Traffic is strange in this game. And now it looks like some cars decide they want to go to the outside lane, so it slows this one down. You know, the lanes thing really does feel kind of buggy, like these cars could be better optimized, but I think it's made a little bit of a difference. It's only backing up to here now, and a lot of that is a backup that's slowly alleviating. There we go. That's almost most of it gone, and then that guy decides, hey, I want to change lanes there. There we go. That part of the backup is now gone by the looks of it, and now there's just a lot of traffic over here. So that appears to have made a difference, which is cool. Okay, first order of business today is to do some upgrading across potentially the entire city. I had a comment from someone saying that they'd done the high-tech housing thing everywhere and it just made them more income, which is an interesting thing. So I'm not sure if it applies to both the office buildings. Didn't we figure this out before? Let's click on there. Let's open up our policies and check it again quickly. It does say housing, so it should only affect residential. But apparently that will make us more money. So what we're going to do, we're around 9,000. That was actually up to 16,000 a while ago, so you know it fluctuates up and down. We're going to turn it on in this district. We're also going to turn it on in this one. Not that one. This one down here, and also this one. That's got a few houses in, but obviously we haven't quite filled that one out just yet. So we can hear some of those ding noises from the houses upgrading. I heard one or two there. And where else could we actually add it? I just noticed that this circular district doesn't include the stuff around it, so I need to add another district over there, I guess. Maybe this place. This place has kind of been doing alright for a long time. Let's click on that. Its land value is very good, so perhaps when we go to high-tech housing, that's going to go up yet again. So, I'm already seeing this increase to 10,500. That's positive. I wouldn't be surprised if we did this in a load of areas and this shot up and then went back down again. That seems to be a typical thing to happen. So what about over here on Avalon? Let's do it again. Let's just put down high-tech housing. We can certainly afford it. And for now, I'll just keep my eye on those areas. Here we go. We can see it in action. Look at this. That's looking really cool. Everyone is loving it. They're upgrading. Let's close our policies on the side here. These buildings look high-tech now, don't they? This is the high density stuff, so they're already, look at that, they're already at 5 stars. We don't really need to do much around here, just let them all upgrade. That was such a cool idea. And now we're down to 6,000, so we're desperately losing money all of a sudden. That's because of all the extra cost of the buildings. So maybe it's not going to make us too much more money, but it will increase land value, which can affect other things as well. In fact, if we'd have brought that up, we could have seen this live. So all of that's very bright green now, and that's probably helped affect some of the stuff over here, but can kind of see it changing live a little bit, I guess. Yep, I just saw a load of green pop up over here. By the way, this bit looks really cool, and it's just changed because we've upgraded all of the buildings. So we had loads of them like this in a row, which look really cool, and I guess now you can see the high-tech equivalent. And what is that noise? Is that the airplane at the airport taking off? Oh, good stuff. Okay. So, I'll keep my eye on this. Now we're up to 11,000. It jumps up and down, doesn't it? And boy, oh boy, does this place look cool now. We've got helipads on top of like every single building. And Down here we've even got a basketball hoop and some tennis courts as well. That is ever so cool. But man, that is a lot of helipads. How many does this city need? Oh, that's extremely cool. Listen to that sound. That is the sound of money. Our land value here is rising. This extended tool thing is really great, by the way. I had a look in this area and I could see that there was police and a lack of elementary school. So I added another little station down here, and immediately all of these ones, they just bump up, look up to the 5th thing right there. So you do need to pay attention to that. It's one of these things that I should have learned earlier on. We kind of did learn it and guess never fully paid attention to it, but apparently some of these buildings over here, despite being offices, are affected by the lack of a primary school. So if we have a look at these ones, you'll see actually probably now making its way up to the 3rd one because of all the upgrading going on around it. A moment ago these were a little bit lower, so you can see here down at 2 and 3. That makes no sense. 2.5. So if we have a look, the elementary school there is lower, and that we can see that like basically every building on these streets right here. So what we're going to do is put an elementary school in, even though it's all offices and doesn't really affect the residents. Well, it will affect a few over here, so I guess that's good. Let's see where we can fit one in. Is this a DP one? We actually want a proper elementary school because that's going to contribute towards some of our unique buildings, which we'll actually look at getting a few more of those in this episode. So it looks like there's a decent space right there where we only take over 2 buildings. And with that, we should see them upgrade. So offices, apparently you desperately wanted a elementary school. Maybe it's not going to happen immediately. We'll keep our eye on this. We'll come back over here for sure. Let's have a quick look while we wait at the other unique buildings that we need now. So we built another university, and it wasn't a DP. Sorry, it was a DP one. So we didn't get that one because of it. By the way, we shot back up to like 12,000 on our income. What I'm going to do is replace that one with a normal one, and then we'll probably just build like 4 in a row, and we'll get the rest of that. For this, I am considering, or did consider, zoning just like a random road so we could get up to 2,000. But they're actually going to move in because there's so much demand for it. So we'll expand our commercial somewhere as well, and also our industrial. And that way we'll be able to unlock those 2. And then we just need all city service buildings. So I'll have to go through them one by one and see what we haven't got. And over here we just need a harbour. So that's something we can definitely consider doing. Before we leave this area, let's have a quick look. It has gone up, not all the way up to 3, but you can see that even the elementary schools are going to affect these buildings. That's crazy. I bet if we could squeeze in a park or 2 in this area, it would go up to the next level. Let's go all the way over here. There's a lot more than I remember. There's so many here. I wish they could be organised a little better. And if we select that one, and you know what? No, we can't quite fit it there. Where can we actually put one? I don't like taking down too many buildings. That one's too wide, so we'll put 2 of those right there. Take out that building. And maybe these will start to upgrade now. Getting a little bit closer, maybe with time. Anyway, we've definitely learnt some things by doing that, so it's really cool. And now this city over here looks amazing as well. Look at this. A few buildings just lacking behind. I'll check up on these areas. And I'm not really sure if that actually made us a lot more money. We're at around like 11,000, but it kind of fluctuates back and forth between those. But the land value has increased, which is obviously going to be a good thing. So anyway, I think the harbour was next. Let's have a look over here. That is the cargo harbour. We've already built one of those, the regular harbour. Okay, so this is going to bring tourists into the city. Where do we want to put it? We could put it on Avalon. We could put it anywhere, really. But we'd probably want to put it somewhere close to a station and a metro, like that one over there. So if we put it here, we could put a bus line between the 2. So basically, I'm probably going to put it somewhere around here. Looks like we're going to be limited to this side where our water pumps are, which isn't the prettiest of things to see. So maybe just somewhere down the bottom here. Alright, I decided to put it here, put a different line on either side of the road, so there's 2 of them right here. Had to build this extra little bit of road because it was being really finicky, and I think I can see people getting over there and queuing up. That's great to see. So this is bringing in some tourists already, perhaps, or somehow the people have just turned up here. And there come the buses, an army of them. And there's probably going to be some congestion here because we've got 2 stops on either side of a road, which, yeah, is very small. And the buses are the same colour as well, so some of them will probably appear on the other side at some point. But they just basically go straight over here and then back again. So there's going to be plenty of buses going between the 2 places, picking people up. And they keep pulling in on this side, and the people over there are just hanging out. And there we go, there's the ones for the opposite side of the road. In they all go. That was awesome to see. And yeah, we're going to be able to pick people up and move them across. So we've brought in 66 people already, and we've unlocked ourselves another unique monument. This is a massive tower, a sea and skyscraper. That might be nice to put in the middle of Avalon somewhere, although Avalon's already got a building, so maybe we'll find another spot to put this. But by the way, I just remembered something that I want to mention quickly. When we built the new area, we didn't do the top level roads, and that will probably help increase the land value massively around here. So if we just go and look at it quickly, you can see it's actually looking pretty good because of that high-tech housing. So if we go and choose these roads right here and then use the upgrade tool, just go bang like this across all of these streets. I'm going to go around and do all of them off camera, but I wanted to see if there was like any immediate effects so we could compare this side to the opposite side. There we go, so that was a fair amount right there. Let's then open up land value, and no noticeable big difference. But anyway, I'm going to do that for this entire area, all of it around here. We're going to upgrade all of the roads. I probably should have done that when I built it, but that will definitely help. And anyway, we need to find a location for that building. So I believe I've upgraded every road in this area. A new rule, all future roads will just do the top level to increase the land value. Here's something interesting though. Some of the curved roads, mainly the smaller ones, would displace the buildings. So if we go over here, look at these two buildings, they're gone. These ones over here, it's like the zone readjusts itself and the building has to disappear. So we've actually lost quite a lot of buildings to that, which is a little bit annoying. But as I was doing it, I was thinking, well, there's not much else we can do if we want to get these upgraded. So it's been done. We don't have to worry about that. Let's resume the game. Oh yeah, the parked cars all disappeared. Not on these roads right here, but on the main roads or the smaller roads. You know, all of these roads around here, they had loads of parked cars and they've all disappeared. I don't think they can park on that anymore, so I was kind of curious to see if that meant we'd have like a rush of traffic coming into the area or something like that, but who knows. Anyway, we've got a place to build this. I was looking around and this place right here looks like the one. How much does it cost, by the way? $3.20 a week, that's fine. So look at this, there's a noise circle and then there's an area of effect circle, and that's kind of perfect, isn't it? The noises with the roundabout, and this just felt like the right place to put it. So I adjusted everything here. It does indeed look a little bit ugly, as you can see, and we need to upgrade these roads of all things. Has that now connected to power through the middle? That's very cool. Good to see. That's a weird looking building. And it kind of fits in a little bit with the crazy road around the outside. So I tried to do something nice and smooth and curved around here, but eventually I just settled for this sort of staggering, and it opens up enough space. We'll obviously put loads of gardens in here. In fact, this whole middle area is a good place for gardens and bushes and stuff, and it'll look real cool. But there you go. That's going to have a positive influence on the area, and so has all of those road upgrades as well. So let's have a look at our land value again. Not seeing a massive like boost, but it's definitely helped a little bit. I mean, it's the only thing it can do. So we'll continue working on this area. And the main thing at the moment, I think, is just letting time go by and letting this thing steadily expand. However, we do have a large demand for commercial and also industrial. I expanded these areas over here a little bit, and I think I'm going to continue doing that, just keeping an eye on the buildings, making sure they've all got workers. Over here, one of the buildings was actually outside of the zone, so I've gone round and adjusted the districts so that they're all correct. So we'll add those zones. I'm going to look for another place to expand some commercial, and then we should be able to expand our residential. So while we wait for things to progress, I thought we would look at those unique buildings again. This thing right here is smaller than the regular university, so we're actually not going to be able to replace this unless we rip up loads of the parks. And I think with the income that we've got and the money we've saved up, we'll just build a random road somewhere. Wow, traffic has increased again. I'm going to have to look into that. It tends to do this, you know, it builds up and then it slows down again. It's just the way things go. So yes, I'm going to build a bunch of universities somewhere. We won't do that on camera. I'll just put a road out to nowhere. I'll probably actually just disconnect it from everything else. So we can do that right now, actually, then, like that. So that's our plan. We're going to put universities on this road. Let's have a look. We can put 4 of these down, and then we'll be able to get the next level. Or at least unlock the building. So which one is it? It's that one right there, I think. Okay, so we've got to wait 10 weeks, then we can just destroy these things. And we also need some more commercial zones to get that one right there. So what I was thinking is we'd make a little commercial area right here, and it would be connected already to kind of 2 of our main flowing streets of traffic, but also this industrial area. So they can bring in the goods this way, and it will redirect the traffic out this way. So that might mean going back here and across again like that. But anyway, if we build a little commercial area just inside this space around the space center, that feels like a good place to put it, since this thing attracts lots of tourists. So yeah, we're going to build a little commercial area right there. So how is this for meeting our demands? We've got another little area right here built up now. Got a police department, fire station, I'm also using the DP ones as well. I don't even realise that I'm doing that, and they're a lot smaller as well, which is another thing about them. Yeah, this place looks really cool. Fits nicely in there, doesn't it? And I've hooked it up with a footpath on this side, which is getting used, and another one over here, which is getting used as well, which is good to see. And now we've got a lot of traffic moving between these two areas. Wow, of course, this makes sense. We would definitely bring in more traffic. I've got to look at upgrading these roads, and everything is neatly fit into this area. That might be a little bit tricky, but there you go. Maybe one way in, one way out. That seems extremely smart. Let's give that a try. There's the one-way road tool. Let's upgrade it to that type. So you are now the in road, and this one will become the out road. If it'll let me do that, let's have a look. Change direction. We've also got a little bit right there that isn't quite. Is it the same there? Yep. Okay, so that's now the in road and that's the out road. That should help tremendously. I also added another road over here. Look at this. I figured a lot of people would be going into this area, coming down here to use this interchange to go into this one. So I added a little shortcut route right there, seeing a few cars come around, and I think more of these little shortcuts that just a few cars use is going to help reduce the strain over here. So we're definitely going to look for more of those. But as of right now, we've met our demands and then they've increased again. I also increased the zoning over here, and they filled it all up, and there's no complaints. Well, there's a couple of complaints over here, so we'll give it a little bit of time for the workers to make their way over there, but this project is working extremely well and our income is coming up. We're making commercial areas to sell the goods that we're making here, and it's all working. So as we steadily expand, we should just continue to increase our income. Well, this right here, we are very close to our goal, as you can see, and I swapped the direction of the roads around. That didn't help. This is just not an ideal intersection. I need to look at this and rethink it, which will take a little bit of time, but I like the expansion that we've done here. It's good. We've almost got those 20,000 zones, but look at the demand again. It's just keep continuously going up and up and up, and I guess because we've got loads of areas here zoned, as the demand for residential comes around, it just disappears quickly because people move in, and so very slowly we're expanding this. I was hoping to do a lot more, but this game takes a fair bit of time to play. So here's another cool thing. The entire time we were doing that, these were running. We've unlocked the Grand Library, and now we can save some money on our income by removing that right there. Good stuff. So we're actually earning more money, and if we have a look, this building looks very, very cool. And I think I know exactly where this needs to go. Actually, it needs to go somewhere over here, except actually it's really big. So maybe we'll rethink that, but there you go. It's been a really fun episode. I had a great time checking out that new mod. There'll be a link to it down there in the description box. It is extremely useful, and it's certainly been helping me out. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. We learnt a few things. We built a tiny new area over here. We created ourselves a traffic problem, but we'll be able to fix that with time. Don't worry. So as always, if you want to see another episode tomorrow, leave a like, 2,000 of those, and we'll have another one. But that's it from me this episode. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.